think tactically, how AZ always plays against big opponents is just going on full attacking mode and just trying to play in between the gaps and in between the lines between the midfield and the defense, and just try to make the best out of it, because all AZ players will go into the match with the idea that they're facing a club that is so incredibly big. Hi, I'm Neal, and I'm with the online AZ fan page AZ Alerts, which is with 25,000 followers across various platforms, one of the biggest news outlets around the Dutch club. Obviously, in comparison to you, Chris, and various other Tottenham news outlets, we're quite small, but that also puts it into a good perspective on how small or how big Tottenham is on a European stage, especially. Based on the questions that you've asked, the only thing I can say about how AZ is doing this season thus far is that AZ has had very mixed results, especially during the start of the season. We started out very, very positively. With I think out of the first 6 games we won 5 and we only had 1 draw, which put us at that moment into a second place. But the last few weeks have been quite rough for us, in which we lost 4 games in a row, of which one of them was in the Europa League match against Athletic Club de Bilbao. But especially in the Eredivisie, in the Dutch Eredivisie, we're not doing that well. So yeah, we're facing Tottenham in a schedule that is quite tough and has been quite rough to us. We have a lot of difficult matches in the upcoming weeks as well. So yeah, I can't say that I'm very, very positive about facing Tottenham this week, but it certainly is a great match, a great club, a great stadium. I think if I have to say something about how the AZ fans are looking forward to the game, or how they are feeling towards the end result of the game, I think everyone is just sort of seeing it as a loss already, based on the fact that we're not doing that well. But yeah, football is a game that you cannot predict. It can always go the other way. So I would say a lot of fans are just hoping for a good result, but obviously Tottenham is an incredibly big club. I think the total transfer value in Transfermarkt is about 10 times higher than it is of AZ. I think even more than 10 times higher. So yeah, that says something about how you should feel as a sort of on European level small club as AZ. But yeah, everyone is excited to see their club play such a big club as Tottenham in an amazing stadium, 75,000 seater stadium. That's going to be amazing for all those fans traveling to London this week. As I told you before, the last manager, Pascal Jansen, got fired last season after some mixed results, and he got replaced by Maarten Martens, which was already a club legend. He played for AZ nearly, I think, 7 years, in which he played 135 games and scored 35 goals or something. So he was a major contribution to the championship squad we had in 2009, the last time that we won the Dutch league. So he's a major club legend, and is very positively acclaimed by a lot of fans. So I think I can speak for most AZ fans if I say that we are quite happy with him being in that position, although we now have had a very tough few weeks. So some people might sort of doubt the fact if he's the right man, especially if you look at the main difference between Pascal Jansen, our former manager, and the current one. Then you can't really see a big improvement yet. So that's all I can say about the manager. Our key players, on the other hand, I think one is especially very well known among Tottenham fans. That is Troy Parrott, who transferred last summer from Tottenham, where he was in the academy for quite some while. I think a lot of Tottenham fans know that. He got transferred to AZ after he had a very good season in the Dutch league as well, against the or at least in the Excelsior squad of a club in the lower ranks of the Dutch league. But he now plays for us. He got transferred for an amount around, I think, the £4 million. He scored 4 goals in one match. Next to that, he didn't score any goal. I can't really say that he is in a very good form, but he did score 4 goals already this season. So he definitely is one of our key players. Next to that, former Premier League midfielder Jordi Klaasie is also one of the key players. He's just a very solid midfielder with a great pass, and he's quite a small guy, but he still intercepts a lot of actions from the opponent. So he's definitely one of our key players. And next to that, I would say that the son of former AC Milan, Bayern Munich player Mark van Bommel, Ruben van Bommel, is one of our key players. He's our left forward. He has a very good forward movement as well, and I think it sort of ends there, which our key players are. Then going over into the last 2 games of AZ in the Europa League, of which one of them I already told you we lost not that big against Athletic Club de Bilbao. I think we lost it with 2-0, and then we won the first game against Swedish side Elfsborg, which we won with 3-2. It was a bit of a rough game, or at least a game that went both sides, but AZ was just taking the long end in that game, which was lucky for us because we needed those 3 points to have some hope of getting through the first stage of this tournament. We're facing a lot of difficult clubs later on in this competition, so we need all the points that we can take. What else can I say about those games? Athletic Club wasn't the best, or at least they were not in their best form. But obviously, if you put our right back Maikuma, Japanese international, up against European Championship winner Nico Williams, then that's a very hard thing to sort of overcome and to face. So that was our weak spot in that game, and I think twice they scored out of an action or a play started out by Nico Williams. So that was unfortunate, but we were not. We had chances in that game, so I looked at it with an optimistic viewpoint that we might have some chances to do well against clubs that are on paper way bigger than we are. I have to say with full honesty that I haven't followed Tottenham that well this season. I have looked at the current table, in which they are in the 7th place, which is in the Premier League. Obviously, if you put it into contrast with the Eredivisie, still above the I think the championship winner of the Netherlands. So if you look at how the quality of the competition is and that sort of stuff, obviously. But more interestingly, if I look at the last 2 games in the Europa League, I've seen that they lost, that Tottenham played 2-1 against Ferencváros, which we are also facing later into the season, into the Europa League. Ferencváros currently led by old manager Pascal Jansen, old AZ manager. He got fired last year after some bad results, in which it was very mixed among the fans of the club about whether he deserved to go or at least be replaced. So that was a very mixed situation, but he now has found a new club after, I think, a search of about half a year. And he's doing very well with Ferencváros. Obviously, he made it quite a hard match against Tottenham, in which they only lost 2-1. So that always, they sort of pushed back somehow. And looking back at how Tottenham performed this season, they also lost or won 3-0 against Karabakh, which is obviously, was it Azerbaijanian? You can't say much about that performance. It's obviously it should have been an easy match for Tottenham. Then looking at the Europa League overall, I would say that one of the main favorites to win this competition at this moment are probably clubs like Athletic, the Club de Bilbao, which we already faced. Obviously, they also host the final of the Europa League, so it will be very exciting for them if they reach to the final and maybe win. So I think they're one of the biggest favorites. And next to that, I think Eintracht Frankfurt is obviously on a European stage an incredibly big club. But yeah, I think where we're heading, where the question was sort of heading to or leading to, is that Tottenham is obviously one of the biggest favorites, in my opinion at least, to win the Europa League. Before the season started, I thought Man United was one of the biggest favorites, but we have seen how good they performed last few weeks. So I think they sort of fall behind in the lead to be a favorite in the Europa League. So I would say that Tottenham makes a very, very big has a very big chance of winning this competition. What I expect of the game this Thursday is that, as I said before, that AZ is going to have a very, very, very tough evening and a very, very difficult evening, in which I expect Tottenham to sort of maybe lean backwards, so they let AZ play the game as Tottenham then sort of don't need that much energy that they probably will need during the Premier League weekend. So I expect them to let AZ play the game and take the game into their hands. But obviously Tottenham has the qualities, individual qualities, to strike back, to make the goal, and then do that over and over again and let AZ make the game still. But yeah, I expect that Tottenham will look at AZ in a way that I don't think they're gonna underestimate AZ, but I think they will know and play as they're playing against a club that is of lesser quality, or that is smaller, that is of less quality basically than they are. So I would say that AZ is gonna play fully on the attack, and just tries to look for the gaps that there are in Tottenham's defense. So yeah, I think tactically how AZ always plays against big opponents is just going on full attacking mode and just trying to play in between the gaps and in between the lines between the midfield and the defense, and just try to make the best out of it, because all AZ players will go into the match with the idea that they're facing a club that is so incredibly big. So yeah, we will just see where it ends. I don't think that it necessarily matters for them that Tottenham has made quite a few switches last few weeks. Obviously, they still have a very incredibly strong defense, midfield, and attacking positions filled. So yeah, it's going to be incredibly difficult. That's the only thing I sort of keep in mind every time. What Tottenham fans can expect of the lineup of AZ is that they pretty much play like they played against PSV last weekend, which is the current number one in the Dutch league, in which they play obviously with Troy Parrott in the front, then with the son of Marco van Bommel, Ruben van Bommel on the left side, and then youngster Ernest Poku on the right forward position, Sven Mijnans on the number 10 position, then with Serbian international Christian Belic on the left defensive midfielder position, and then former Premier League midfielder Jordi Klaasie on the right defensive midfielder position. Then we have Norwegian international David Müller-Wolve on the left back position, who got a red card in the match against PSV, which a lot of fans were not so happy about. So he might be punished for that performance there, but I don't think it will matter to him being in the squad, as he is still one of the most solid performers within the squad. Then we have youngster as well, Maxime Dekker on the left center back position, with Portuguese center back Penetra on the right center back position, and Japanese right back, Japanese international Mike Kuma on the right back position, with once again a young player in goal, Owusu Oduro, who has had a very mixed performance over the last few weeks, but he's still the solid number one in this current AZ squad. My prediction for this game is obviously, as I said, not very optimistical, but I will still go for a. I'm not gonna say this. Maybe I'm going for a 2-1 for Tottenham. If it goes the right way for AZ, I expect a 1-1. So that's my expectation, or at least if I look at it with an optimistical view, I would say that 1-1 is the best that we can get out of it, or at least a draw is the best that we can get out of it. But I believe that for a lot of AZ fans that does matter, obviously, but still the experience of being in this Tottenham Hotspur stadium, being in London again. We played West Ham 2 seasons ago in the half-final, in the semi-final of the Conference League, which was an amazing few days there. We were there with about 2,000 fans. We're now, I think, coming over with 1,500 fans to London. So it's going to be one big party, and I think every AZ fan is looking forward to it. Who is going there, and obviously all the fans being back home watching the game are very excited to see their club play against Tottenham. So last but not least, thank you for having me, and I'm very looking forward to watching the game this Thursday. So thank you very much.